You're welcome to my channel and you're watching Ijdesigns. If you're following me, you're welcome. If today is your first time, you're also welcome. So please don't forget to hit the red button and subscribe to this channel. I have fantastic videos like this coming up to this channel every week. So in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to draft a basic bodice pattern. A basic bodice pattern, with it, you can draft and style your dress anyhow, any style, whatever it is that you want to draft. With basic bodice pattern, your work is so simple and easy. So today, I'm going to show you how to draft it. Please stay with me and you learn how to draft it. With basic bodice pattern, you can make what I'm wearing, like what I'm putting on here. It's so simple, it's looking so good, so fine. So you can make it by yourself. And this is how a basic bodice pattern that we are going to draft out now look like. It looks like this. So stay with me and learn how to make it. Let's go to the table and start learning. Okay, in drafting my basic bodice pattern, I have my papers and tools, and here is my guideline and my shoulder line as well. So at this point is where my measurement starts from. I inserted my 3 inches here, 8 inches standard, and 1 shoulder slope down here. So this 3 inches, 8 inches standard here, and 1 inch slope down for my shoulder slope. Then I inserted my vertical measurement first, starting from the shoulder line here down to the length of my pattern. Shoulder, and here is my bust point, under bust, waist, then the hip part, the hip point. I made horizontal lines at the prominent points. Then I move over to my shoulder line. My shoulder is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I'm maintaining this 8 inches with 1 shoulder slope down. And at that point, I marked my armhole line. My armhole is 18 divided by 2, and I have 9. Or you can calculate your armhole by dividing your chest measurements divided by 6.2. So mine here is 9. At this point, I went ahead to label the prominent areas: bust point here, the bust point here, waist point here, and my hip line here. Then up here is the chest measurements. That's my chest line. All those points are where the measurement will be inserted. The circumference of those measurements will be inserted. So in covering my armhole here, I will insert my chest measurement. My chest measurement here divided by 4. What I have is 10.5 here. Over here, then I will get the midpoint of this armhole line by folding my tape into 2 this way, and I have 4. So at this 4 point now, the midpoint of the armhole, I curve it, I connect it with the other dots down here to form my armhole curve. Connect it like so in a curvy way, but this is the back armhole. So to get the front armhole now, I moved in by 0.5. You can move in by 0.25, 0.3, or whatever it is, depending on the size of your shoulder. So here, I curved it up to the shoulder line and down to the chest measurement line. Then this is my front armhole line. I went ahead to label them, the back and the front here. So now I moved over to the bust point to insert my dart. So inserting my dart, now I made use of my nipple to nipple measurements is here. I made use of 5 here. My nipple to nipple measurement is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. I added half inch sewing allowance to it, which is 5. That's why I see me marking 5 here. And here now is this is my dart line. So I'm taking my dart away from the waist point and the under bust point here. So at the waistline here, I took away 2 inches dart away from there, 1 inch from both sides, 1 inch here and 1 inch here. And I went up to the bust point. I came down by 1 inch. You can come down by 2 inches or half inches depending on the size of your bust. So
to give room for the bust and eliminate the pointiness. So at the under bust point here, I took away 3 inches that away from there, 1.5 inch from both sides. Okay, then at the hip points, I came up by 2 inches. Now I'm connecting the points together like so. Connected the points together like so. Okay, this has formed my dart. I'm curving it this way because my body is not pointed. My body is curving. So here I went up to the neck region like here. The standard for the neck is 3 for the front and 1 for the back. That's standard for neck cotton. So here I squared it up to have my neck, to have my perfect neck curve. So this now I'm covering the back part. The back part, I'm covering it like so. This is the back curve. And now I'm covering the front. Covering the front neck line. And I went ahead to label them. This is for the back and here for the front. Okay. So the next thing now is to start putting my horizontal measurements. The horizontal measurement, that's the circumference of my body. Okay, for the chest measurement, I've already marked it 10.5. So I'll move down to the waist point. The circumference of my waist divided by 4. I have 9 here. And remember, a dart was taken away. So here I took away 2 inches here and 3 inches here. So I'm taking the big dart, that's the 3 inches. I'm replacing it back here, the 3 inches. And remember, you sew it with ½ inch from both sides. Half inch here gives me 1 inch. So I'm adding it back here. I'll move down to the hip point. At this hip area, the circumference of my hip divided by 4. Whatever I have, I mark it here. Mine is 12.5 here. Then sewing allowance for the darts, I added it here. And sewing allowance for the clothes, I added it as well. I move over to my chest measurement and added the sewing allowance to it as well. Here, 1 inch sewing allowance. So in this pattern, I made use of shoulder darts. So to get the shoulder darts now, I found the midpoint here and connected it down to the bust points like so. So at this point, I came up by 1 inch so that I will have enough room for my bust and eliminate the pointiness at the bust point. So, and at this point here, I removed 1 inch dart away from there, ½ inch on both sides, and then connect the whole points. Okay, remember, whatever dart you take away, I replace it back to the shoulder line. Then I will connect it. I will recreate the shoulder, the armhole curve for the front like this. I'm recreating the armhole curve for the front now. You can see I'm recreating it parallel to the first armhole I had before. I'm recreating it like this. Now this is going to be the new armhole for the front. The new armhole for the front. The dart that is taken away here will be replaced back. Then I connect the whole, all the points together, the side seams, connect it together like this. Yeah, I'm having a funny shape here, but don't worry, by the time the dart is taken away, you have your perfect shape. Okay, so at those back parts now, I'm marking it because I'm going to do little adjustment to the back. Now we are as good as done. I'm cutting it out. Cut it out like so. I'm cutting towards that new armhole curve. So at the shoulder part, you add your sewing allowance, and at the neck region as well, you add your sewing allowance. You can see I'm cutting both the front and the back together, but look at it carefully and see how I'm cutting it. I cut the back neck first and separate the two pattern from each other. I'm separating it now, but I'm marking those points towards the back pattern. I'm marking it because I'm going to have a little adjustment. Now I'm cutting out the front neck. This is the front neck line I'm cutting, and the front is ready. Now at the back part, I'm doing little adjustments. So if you find this video interesting and you're enjoying it so far, don't forget to hit this red button below, subscribe to this channel, and you will have more of this video coming up. You'll be notified each time I have the videos. So please guys, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to it. So here now, I took ½ inch from both sides at the waist and came up here by 1 inch. The same thing I did at the front of this pattern. And this is how the dart is. This is how the dart of the back is. Okay. The only difference there is that the darts I took away here is although the 1 inch darts, ½ inch on both sides. Okay, and you can leave the back like this, or if you wanted to have the same shoulder darts, you can draw it up like so. But nothing was taken away, you just to open it up and stitch it back. That's it. Then here at the waist point, my waist measurement here is 9, then 1 inch here 10, and sewing allowance. So I have a little recess at the back here, and I'm going to trim it out. Okay, so you connect it like this. That's the only adjustments we have for the back here. Connect it up like this and down to the hip line like so. Okay, so now at the zipper part, I'm going to eliminate that bulginess we usually see at the back of our zip. So to eliminate this now, we'll come in by 1/2 inch at the waistline. I came in by ½ inch here and then stroke it up to the neck part and down, and also down to the waist parts like so. Then at that waist point, I will recreate my new zipper allowance and also slant it the same way I slanted for the ½ inch I took away from the waistline. Now here now is my new zipper allowance. So this is it guys, this is for the back. So if you love this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me on my Facebook page. If you have any question concerning this, go to the comment section, put your questions, and I'll be glad to attend to each and every one of you. Okay guys, see you in my next video. Bye.